At the top, I didn't know by skin shape. Big ups to whoever laid down that violin. Stunning stuff. Laid, textural, just like No Mafia by Left Field Coffee. And just then, Arcs, Special Times and Places from the 18 compilation Chill Pill. Hashtag various artists. A little down-tempo pop, some bossa nova influence. I really loved that drum pattern. I got deeply into that.
I really loved your back announce just then. That was the best I've heard you do it. That was poetic, man. You didn't miss a syllable.
I love you.
That was amazing.
I'm pretty excited about this next little block. We have a new partner on board.
We have our debut, not our debut, but our real true first partner, which is fantastic. And we've always said from the start that, we don't really want to do ad reads and sell your soul, which is kind of a necessity in some games like this. But you don't want to just be reading out anything that you don't believe in, and reserve sort of the brand for like-minded people and like-minded organisation. So it's really cool to have our first sponsor on board, Shokz.
Shokz, man. They hit us in the DMs. They just dropped their OpenDots ONE, which you have in your hands. A clean, open earbud that clips to your ear, lightweight, stable, secure. And they've got some pretty cool tech, Bassphere technology. I think you read a bit about that last night.
I didn't actually get around to that, Matt. I didn't read about Bassphere technology, but I understand a little bit about the ear and how you hear sounds. Your little eardrum oscillates the sounds out of the air. And the reason why I didn't do my research, Matt, is because I actually had a little story to tell about Bassphere technology. And so when you hear, right, you actually hear in 3D. And that's why stereo is a thing, right? You have two different speakers separated by a distance so you can hear sound clearly. You got two ears, you got stereo system. So there's a wave interference pattern and your brain can interpret where the point come from because it's got 2 points to be able to do the maths off, right? And the reason why I find this so interesting is because when I do certain meditation practices, I have learnt that you can hear the direction of sounds. And so I want to have a little Shokz challenge to everyone when they're out in nature next time. When you hear a bird, when you can hear a bird chirping, point to it. And then I guarantee you, when you look at where you're pointing, that bird will be there chirping. Yeah. And it's something I always play with my son Billy because, it's like you're trying to play mindful games with them or do fun exercises. But that's why I didn't do my research because I knew that Shokz and their new Bassphere technology had something I already knew about, and it's really amazing. And so I'm really excited to try these out and see how they sound. I
reckon the best way to test them. So when sound techs or audio files with amazing speaker setups, they always play a few tracks to test the range, test the depth, the bass, and you kind of need a song that can do all of that. One of those that I've always heard at sound checks is Everybody Here Wants You, Jeff Buckley. So you have your Jeff Buckley falsettos and this crunchy snare, this big kick, and it's just there's so much space in the song, so you can kind of you hear the snare and then there's just a little bit of time before the kick or before you hear his iconic vocals. So you can actually separate every layer of the song really comfortably. And so at sound checks, they use that track. I think it's perfect to use now.
And am I right in saying that the sound check dude, who's always a crazy supersonic engineer, Brainiac,
most of the time,
is sitting behind that thing? They might listen to the song 3 or 4 times throughout it and just curate the knobs, change the treble, change balance, different things on the soundboard in preparation for someone.
They'll be kind of just raising or lowering mics as well. So that when a drum kit is mic'd up, it'll have not just one mic hovering above. Each drum will have a mic linked to it. So they have to level every one of those mics. Then they have to level the bass guitar versus electric guitar. And then they might have a violin in there, just like that track before, Skin Shape. They have to balance that all out. They also have to balance the foldbacks. So what the musicians hear. So the speakers that actually point at the musicians or the in-ears, so they have the right balance or they have an in-ear click, whatever it is, they monitor that as well.
Wow, that is complex. Well, luckily they've got some Jeff Buckley to put them on the right track.
100%. And then what would you like to test these
Well,
out with?
I would like to test these out. When I'm testing speakers or headphones, probably more specifically, I'm always going for something with a bit of bass range, with some bass noise, so that when I get on an aeroplane, I'm in the song, you know. It's not getting all washed out. It's not little tinging and tagging around and you're only getting the high end of the frequency. You know, bass is a thing that's always washed out in your car and in certain scenarios.
Or like your zinger box that you left from the night before is rattling around in the back.
Yeah,
when you
exactly.
Really turn it up.
Yeah, it's just
the Mountain
absorbing.
Dew's just fucking rolling side to side.
Yeah, all the undies and towels and clothes you leave in your car are just like soaking up all those frequencies. So for me, I think I would like to test a Massive Attack song, Angel, which has got some pretty naughty bass line going on, and I feel like that would be only fitting for Shokz, our sort of debut non-friend sponsor. So shout out Shokz, really appreciate it, and can't wait to try the product.
Yeah, we're going to test the new Shokz OpenDots ONE. Tom, clip them in your ears, enjoy these tracks. Jeff Buckley, Massive Attack. We're going to see you after the break and let you know how these things hum.